8, 7, 6, 5. All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis. The space shuttle spreads its wings one final time for the start of a sentimental journey into history. 24 seconds into the flight, roll program complete. Atlantis now heads down, wings level on the proper alignment for its 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Space Station. 40 seconds into the flight, the 3 liquid fuel main engines throttling back to 72% of rated performance in the bucket, reducing stress on the shuttle as it goes transonic for the final time. Engines now revving up, standing by for the throttle up call.
Atlantis, go and throttle up, no action, DPDT.
Forward throttle up, no action on DPDT.
That call from Capcom Barry Wilmore, a transducer, instrumentation only, no action required. Atlantis now 15 miles in altitude, already 16 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 1 minute 40 seconds into the flight. Atlantis flexing its muscles one final time. Atlantis traveling almost 2,600 miles an hour at 21 miles in altitude, 24 miles downrange, standing by for solid rocket booster separation. Booster officer confirms staging a good solid rocket booster separation. Guidance now converging. The main engine steering the shuttle on a pinpoint path to its preliminary orbit. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Atlantis already traveling 3,200 miles an hour, 35 miles in altitude, 50 miles downrange. The propulsion officer reports the orbital maneuvering system engines have ignited. Atlantis kicking on its afterburners for 1 minute, 23 seconds for the final phase of powered flight.
Atlantis, 2-engine towel.
Booster officer confirms staging a good solid rocket booster separation. Guidance now converging.
And an absolutely perfect launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The weather could not hold it back. The sun has peeked out from behind the clouds, and Atlantis has made its way. And you can see the picture, the live picture of the curvature of the Earth, and Atlantis is already so far away from Kennedy Space Center. Tom Jones, former astronaut, is with us live here. What a sight.
You look out the back window of the shuttle on launch pad, watch that flame and smoke and steam burst out from under you. You realize what power is contained in that ship. And I think that rush of acceleration is going to be felt by this crew. Might be a few years before we feel another one. But that next generation of explorers is going to follow on the shuttle's legacy, and I'm looking forward to that.
Right now up there, this was one of those mornings when they didn't really know what was going to happen. But I guess you have to be ready.
You have to be ready, and I admire the professionalism of the team that got ready to go, whether the weather cooperated or not. They made sure everything technically was done to be ready to seize the opportunity, and when the window opened up, they took it.
Continuing coverage of the final launch of Shuttle Atlantis for the Space Shuttle program as this special edition of Fox News continues in just a moment. I'm Shepard Smith at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It's great to have you with us for a day of history.